Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. This is a quick on-the-job video. So we came up against this Samsung digital lock, very commonly sold at Bunnings stores. Just looking for a key override. A lot of them had it. This one I couldn't seem to see if it was there or not. Perhaps it does look like you can flick that front panel off, but I didn't want to destroy the deadlock trying to find out. So to start off with, you touch the keypad, you wake it up, you enter in the two random numbers that it's there, push star, enter in your code and then push star and the lock will work. Unfortunately, the people who are using this actually got stuck inside, and they weren't regulars to this house. This house is more like a B&B, Airbnb, so other people will be using it, so it needs to be reliable. So we got called here to saying it's unreliable, and sometimes you can adjust things, but a lot of the time if it's unreliable and it's electronic, you're going to have to replace the whole thing. So we've decided to replace it with a deadbolt, which will solve any problems and take the lock off the door. And luckily there was no extra holes left on the door or anywhere else, so it was easy enough just to replace with a standard deadbolt. From the inside it does have the turn switch, which will release the deadbolt, and it also does have a button which will electronically release the deadbolt. But unfortunately, as you can see the marks on the door frame, somebody actually got stuck inside and it wasn't working for some reason. So here we are. We've replaced it with the just standard deadbolt. You can still see the footprint there. And then we've handed off the keys and all the rest. Unfortunately, we've had to go back because there's no key for the bottom lock. So the customer didn't tell us they didn't have a key for the bottom lock. So we're going to go through and open it up and make a key for the bottom lock, or pretty much recode the new deadbolt to the same key as the bottom lock. This solution is much better than the digital lock. I mean, the digital lock is really good, but unfortunately it's going to really cause troubles, especially when people, you're going to have different users who have never used a digital lock, and when you've got many people coming in and out every couple of weeks, you don't want any trouble, especially if it's an Airbnb or a rental property or anything like that. So a standard deadbolt's definitely the way to go. So here I've just opened it up using the electric pick gun, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Lishi tool. And the Lishi tool is basically just going to help me not have to pull the lock apart. I mean, I only put the lock on the other day, but since I don't have the keys anymore, Lishi tool seems to be a good idea to use that and speed up the process. I mean, if it saves you 10 or 15 minutes rather than pulling the lock apart, you know, it saves a bit of time. So the Lishi tool, I do like it for decoding. I don't like it for picking so much. As you see, the electric pick gun with that, the Kronos electric pick gun just blows straight through it, and it's much easier. Anyway, let's get into making a key and then rekeying the decoding the key, making a key, and then rekeying the bottom handle lock to suit. 3 4 3 3 4 5 3 4 5. Okay, so I have the choice of Silka Futura, or I could just cut it on the HPC, and to be quite honest, I'm just going to use the HPC. It's quicker. Change the right disc. 14 MC for pin. Reverse thread. Take off the cutter for cutting disc. Teeth the right way. Nut the right way. Okay, cutter changed. Shoulder, action. Three, going to carry it over to the next one. Drop down to a 4, carry it over to the next one. Drop down to a 5, slightly widen. Here we have a key. Let's test it. Okay, so here's this one picked. I'll leave it picked so I don't have to pick it again. And it does work. It's a little bit clicky. So it's cut to code, which means what can we see here? I can see the first one. First one has a little bit of an impressioning mark. Let's hit it with the file. So sometimes these particular locks aren't exactly on the money. So to show you in the light what I'm doing, I can see my first pin right there has quite a deep wear in it. So I'm just going to hit that. 1, 2, 3. Much better. So all of it is to specs, except for the first cut. It was in between a cut, so it's a little bit annoying, but that's the way it is. Okay, now we have that. We simply rekey that to that, and we're good to go. Okay, so I've just taken out the cylinder here. Turn that off. So let's have a look at those pins. So here's our key we cut from the deadbolt, and as you see, nothing's aligning, so that's cool. So let's go through and put in the correct pins. Okay, so that's putting everything in to code. That's the code we cut the key to, and as you can see, the first one here is lower. We cut it as a 3, it wouldn't turn, and then we had to kind of impression it a bit, and then we took it down a cut. So I'm guessing that I've got a bad read on the first one, and it was actually a 4. Now when I put that 4 in, everything's constant, so I can comfortably say that I read it wrong and it was actually a 4. So now I've got that code, and as you can see in this particular lock here, it's slightly lower there, but we have to keep the key the same. So we might just give that a quick little knurl, just so that when they get keys cut, they've got a good chance of actually the keys working. So this just puts a slight chamfer on the actual chamber, meaning that if you get your keys cut from a key cutter and the machine's not, you know, 1,000,000% accurate, you've got a good chance of working, because if I give them keys and they work and they go to get one cut and then they can never get another key to actually turn in the lock, they're going to get a little bit annoyed. So a little bit of tolerance in this scenario is going to be a good solution. Okay, and that works quite nicely now. So the problem with the code that I decoded was that the first cut, I saw it as a 3, but it really was a 4, and there was a little bit of movement there. So, but apart from that, it was still easier than pulling the lock off, and it was still easier than having to go pick up a key for the lock, which would have cost me more time. At least now I know that that key was consistent with the deadbolt, works very nicely in the deadbolt. So I'm pretty comfortable to say that's their exact key, and when they get here, they'll be able to use this key on the handle lock now. Okay, so now I'll go put it back on the door, give it a test. Here's the door, here's the handle. I forgot to bring my spike tool. I didn't need it, cool. Locked, unlocked, unlocked, anti-clockwise, unlocked, clockwise, locked, deadlock, locked, unlocked, anti-clockwise, unlocked. Final test, turn the switch, anti-clockwise, unlocked. Final test now. Deadbolt locked, handle lock locked, both locks locked, unlocked, and unlocked. And there we have it. So we've made a key to the top one using the Lishi, and then set the bottom lock to it, so now they're both the same key, and we didn't have to pull the deadlock apart, so it did save us a little bit of time. Used the HBC, so we didn't have to wait for the Futura to boot up, and it was quite pain-free. Okay, thanks for watching.